Today I want to show you how to use Picasa, a free web album from Google. The purpose of Picasa is to create and share your own slideshows with captions. You can drag photos onto a Google map so those viewing your slideshow can see the location of your photos. This is a great tool to use when location or setting is an important part of your standards. The objectives for this screencast will be to share with you how to upload pictures and captions, link to the map, and share a slideshow. I'll start with a brief sample, and then I'll show you one I made for a 5th grade science class. Let's get started. Go to Picasa's website at picasaweb.google.com. Because this is part of Google, you'll need to log into your Google account. All of my students in my district have this capability. You can see that I'm already logged in and that all of my Google options, like Drive and Calendar, are at the top. You'll need to start by uploading pictures and videos. For the purpose of this screencast, I'll be using only pictures. I previously downloaded and saved pictures I took on a recent trip. When you click on Upload, you'll be given a box to enter the title of your album. You can add pictures to an existing album also. And that could be beneficial if students are collaborating or creating a slideshow of pictures taken from various locations. You have the option to drag photos in or select them from a save file. I have mine saved, so I'll click there. You simply find the folder, highlight your pictures, and hit open. Picasa will download them into your album. So I'll click the 3 that I want. Open. You'll have the option to upload more or cancel, or if you're ready to move on, you can click OK. Once your photos are uploaded, you have a few options when creating your slideshow. The first is organizing them. If you click on the Organize tab, you'll be able to drag and move your photos into the order that you want to share them. You can also sort them, copy, move, or delete any of them, which is a nice option if students are collaborating and find they have repeated images. I'm going to go ahead and just move one around. When you're finished organizing, simply hit Done, and you'll be back to your album. The next step is to add captions. This is where students will really demonstrate what they've learned or what content skill they were mastering. To add a caption, click on the picture, and then click on Add a Caption. A text box will pop up and allow you to type your text. When you're finished, hit Save a Caption. Notice you have the option to edit or delete your caption as well. To move to the next picture, click the arrow and repeat until all of your photos have a caption. And we'll get the last caption. When you're finished, you can click on My Photos or just on the title of your album. And it's at this point where you'll want to add a map. If you scroll down, you'll see Create Album Map. When you click on that, you'll be given a box to enter a location. I've had the most success by entering the city and the state. You can narrow your location by typing in the place where your photos were taken in the Find Location box. Be sure to also list the city and state again though. You can also zoom in and out with the plus and minus keys. At this point, you're at the screen that will allow you to edit the map with your pictures. You'll notice your pictures on the left-hand side. Simply select, drag, and drop onto the map. So it was the deer that we said we saw in our neighborhood. So we'll place that picture there. And the groundhog we saw at the orchard. So we'll put him here. And the black bear was sighted at Cunningham Falls. And I just went ahead and used the zoom keys to zoom out a little bit to allow you to see that all three pictures were now on the map. When you're finished, you can hit done and then click on back to album view. You can see now at the bottom that you have a map of the location on your album page with your photos flagged in red. You can view the map and edit it as needed. At this point, you can play your slideshow. At the top left, click the slideshow tab and your slideshow will begin running. You can jump ahead or back or pause if needed. You'll notice that your captions are shown. You can increase the time in which your slides transition. You can hide your captions if needed. And when you're finished viewing the slideshow, simply click the X and you'll be back to your album. Here are a few options. If you'd like to add an album description, on the right-hand side, click Enter an album description. Here you can change your title, the date. You can add a description or the place taken. You can change the visibility. Just be sure to hit Save Changes when you're finished. Students will now need to share their slideshow with me if it's ready for grading, or each other if this is a collaborative project. If you click on Share on the right-hand side, you'll be able to add an email address and a message. You have some other options on this page, but for educational purposes, you simply need to click on Share via email. Once your slideshow is shared, feedback can be given from the teacher or peers. Photos can be added to albums as the unit continues or as photos are taken from different locations. Picasa gives students a variety of ways to share what they've learned in a creative and innovative way. Students will take ownership of the project and draw connections. Depending on the content, a variety of Common Core state standards can be addressed. All slideshows will require students to use writing and map reading skills. Today I'm going to show you a slideshow I created after a geology field trip with a Frederick County, Maryland 5th grade student. My standards for the Common Core. My writing standard is that students will write informative or explanatory texts to examine a topic and convey ideas and information clearly. And there's 2 substandards listed as well. Develop the topic with facts, definitions, and so forth. Use precise language and domain-specific vocabulary is also there. The science standards, students will analyze the dynamic nature of the geosphere, and substandards comparing the origin, the texture, the mineral composition of common rock groups, and explain how the transfer of energy drives the rock cycle. And the student objectives are there, just in a little bit more of a kid-friendly way. I've asked the students, can you take notes and explain in detail what new information I learned in the caverns? Can you use specific vocabulary terms in the presentation? And for science, can you compare the origin, texture, and mineral composition of the rocks? And can you explain how the caverns were formed? And those student objectives could vary slightly, depending on whether you're using a slideshow for an anticipatory set or for a culminating activity. My slideshow to the Grand Caverns, Virginia will be used at the end of a unit where students can share their own findings after a tour-guided trip. However, the slideshow can easily be used to generate or brainstorm ideas at the beginning of the unit. My slideshow is not from a formal field trip and can be adapted to any location where students can find and study different rock formations and samples in your local area. Students can work with partners to add pictures from their findings and other locations onto the map. I'm going to click on my album and play the slideshow for you so you can see my pictures and captions. I'm going to go ahead and just increase that transition slightly so you have time to read the caption. This is a good time to tell you that Picasa can enhance instruction because it allows teachers to address a variety of interests, learning styles, and creativity of their students. It supports diverse learning needs because it can provide introductory information or a reteaching of skills. It can also be used as an extension activity. So we can exit the slideshow and take a look at the map back on the album page. Notice that I added 2 pictures from other caverns nearby, Luray and Shenandoah. We can upload more pictures to this album and rename it if necessary, add a new location to the map and expand our slideshow. From here, a discussion can be held as to what is common between the different caverns and why so many caverns are formed in this area of Virginia. Other ideas for classroom uses could be a school newspaper or journalism photos with map locations of school activities and sporting events around the district. Students could also present historical research, such as Civil War generals or battles, after they explore local locations marked on the map. Slideshows could be made of birds, streams, leaf collections, and so forth after a habitat unit or other science or nature unit with locations on the map where each item was cited or found. I believe the possibilities could extend into the related arts classes when students are studying ancient artworks, musical composers, or even tracking cross-country routes in PE. Because you upload your own photos, students can also illustrate fictional stories, take pictures of their illustrations with their devices, and upload them for a slideshow. This would be a creative option for fiction when the story relies heavily on the setting, so students can drag their pictures onto a map. Picasa gives students the opportunity to be innovative in the ways they synthesize and present their information, the way they collaborate with others, and share new knowledge. I hope that you'll give it a try this coming school year.